In 1925, one man sold the Eiffel Tower. No weapons, no force, just paper, confidence, and the perfect lie. His name was Count Victor Lustig, though he was no count at all. Born in Austria, he spoke 5 languages, dressed like royalty, and could charm a banker into handing him his wallet just to demonstrate a magic trick. He conned mayors, mobsters, and even Al Capone, walking away each time with money and admiration. To the world, he was a gentleman. In reality, he was the greatest con artist who ever lived. Before the Eiffel Tower, Victor Lustig had already built an empire of deception. His favorite trick was called the money box, a polished mahogany case with brass knobs, velvet lining, and a hidden slot inside. He claimed it could duplicate banknotes through a secret chemical process known only to him. To prove it, Lustig would feed a real bill into the box, wait a few hours, and produce 2 identical ones. The victims tested them. Real paper, real ink. The illusion was perfect. By the time they realized the truth, that Lustig had simply preloaded the notes, he was already gone, charming his next target in another city. Every con was practice, every illusion, a study in human weakness. He understood something most men never do. People don't fall for lies, they fall for what they want to believe. And soon he'd find the greatest belief and the boldest deception of his life. In the spring of 1925, Paris was in love with its image, but not with its tower. The Eiffel Tower, once a marvel of engineering, had become an expensive burden, rusting, costly to maintain, and still hated by many who saw it as an eyesore. The newspapers buzzed with rumors that the government might soon tear it down. For most readers, that was gossip. For Victor Lustig, it was the headline of a lifetime. He forged government letters, complete with stamps, seals, and signatures, invitations addressed to the 5 most powerful scrap metal dealers in France. Each was told to meet him at the Hôtel de Crillon, one of the most luxurious hotels in Paris, for a confidential government discussion. When they arrived, Lustig greeted them as the Deputy Director General of the Ministry of Posts and Telegraphs. His manner was perfect, precise, restrained, official. He explained that due to the high maintenance costs, the government had decided, discreetly, to sell the Eiffel Tower for scrap. The public cannot know yet, he warned softly, or there would be outrage. The businessman nodded. The secrecy made it feel real and urgent. But what truly sold the illusion wasn't the documents, it was psychology. He made himself look powerful enough to lie. The expensive hotel, the tailored suit, the quiet confidence, all cues of authority. Then, he gave them a secret, something not meant for the public. Secrecy triggers trust. It makes people feel chosen. And finally, he flattered their greed and ego. Only the most influential businessmen had been invited. Each man looked around the room and thought the same thing. If they're here, it must be real. When the meeting ended, there was tension in the air. The men were intrigued, but cautious. The Eiffel Tower? For sale? It sounded absurd, even dangerous. Lustig sensed their doubts and welcomed them. So he didn't push. He simply smiled and said,
"The ministry will review your proposals. You'll hear from us within the week."
That waiting period was part of the trick. It gave them time to imagine, to convince themselves it was possible. By the time Lustig reached out again, the idea no longer felt like a fantasy. It felt like opportunity. Among them, one man stood out to Lustig, André Poisson. He wasn't the richest in the room, nor the most confident, but he was the most eager. Poisson was new to Paris, an outsider trying to earn respect in a city run by old money and older names. He had wealth, but not status. And Lustig knew there's nothing more dangerous than a man desperate to be accepted. Lustig invited Poisson to a private meeting. He praised his discretion, his professionalism, and hinted that the government was leaning his way. Then, lowering his voice, he mentioned that some officials overseeing the sale expected a private payment. Nothing large, just a gesture to ensure the process moved quietly. That was Lustig's masterstroke. It turned a risky deal into an insider's secret. To Poisson, It didn't sound like a scam anymore. It sounded like access. Only real officials, he thought, would dare mention a bribe. And in that moment, every trace of doubt disappeared. Poisson handed over 70,000 francs in cash. The bribe, the equivalent of about $200,000 today, along with a certified check for 250,000 francs, roughly 1 million in modern value. He believed he just secured one of the most profitable deals in France. By the next morning, Lustig was gone, a suitcase full of cash in hand, vanishing without a ripple. The Eiffel Tower had been sold, and Victor Lustig had just pulled off one of the most brilliant cons in history.